What's up guys, Mickle here, and there are a lot of fears in the XRP community right now that the XRP ledger could one day become the Nokia of crypto, and all that means is that the XRP ledger isn't going to be able to innovate fast enough. It's not going to be able to build new products into the core code itself. Keep up with some of the more advanced blockchains out there. In this video, I want to address this topic, give you my thoughts on whether or not the XRP ledger is going to be able to innovate fast enough to keep up. This is a super important topic because every single day we see new blockchains trading in the market, and some of them do have features that are better than the XRP ledger. In this video, I'm going to go over whether or not I think the XRP ledger will be out-innovated and surpassed in the long run. Make sure to stick around for this whole thing. This is a really important topic. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. If you enjoy these videos, make sure to take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's really going to help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy some XRP or the Flare token, make sure to check out my favorite exchange uphold down in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. I want to start out this video with just a quick update on the Grayscale case, and the main reason I follow this is because in order for money to come back into the cryptocurrency market, in order for institutions to step back into this market in a big way and really reignite the next bull market, we really need to see some bullish catalysts. And one of the biggest bullish catalysts right around the corner is a spot Bitcoin ETF. A spot Bitcoin ETF would allow tons of people to get into this market who don't even understand cryptocurrencies. Second, we have a spot Bitcoin ETF. We are going to see that retirements, endowments, family offices are all going to be diversifying into the cryptocurrency sector through spot Bitcoin ETFs. This is a massive bullish catalyst, but right now the SEC is essentially stonewalling the conversion of a lot of these Bitcoin products to spot Bitcoin ETFs. One of the most important fights on that front right now is Grayscale, and they just won their case against the SEC. Now, it's important to note that Grayscale winning their case against the SEC doesn't mean that the SEC needs to accept Grayscale converting their GBTC product into a spot ETF. It just means they're not allowed to say no for the same arguments they were making. Well, Grayscale actually put out a letter earlier today, and I thought this thing was pretty funny, and this is the real reason I wanted to share it with you. And they said in a letter to the SEC, we are confident right now with the 15 prior rejections. If there was any other reason to actually deny the Bitcoin spot ETF, it would have popped up by now. It's time for the SEC to actually approve this thing. And they're also pointing out that their application is long overdue for an SEC decision. So I just thought this was kind of funny. Essentially, Grayscale is like, we have filed this thing 15 times. You've denied it every single time on disproven theories. Finally, this last theory you were trying to stick to, you lost in court to it. So now it's time for you to approve this ETF. Ultimately, I do think Grayscale does get their product converted into a spot ETF, and I think this really ignites the SEC to have to start approving other Bitcoin ETFs. Once we see players like Fidelity and BlackRock all offering their own versions of a Bitcoin ETF, we are going to see institutional money flood into this space in a big way. Right now, the SEC is trying to put the brakes on all of it. They're trying to stop it from happening, but this Grayscale win was a big step forward, and now they're putting the pressure back on the SEC to actually take some action and really get the ball rolling again. Ultimately, we're going to have to see what the SEC's next move is here. They can't actually deny the Grayscale ETF conversion for a new reason. They're just going to have to find one and make one up. I'm just not sure if they're going to be able to do this. Anyway, I'm keeping my eyes on this, and now I want to transition to the next topic, and that is whether or not the XRP ledger is going to become the Nokia of crypto. Every single day, we see new advanced blockchains coming out that have capabilities that surpass the XRP ledger. Some are faster, some have smart contracts built in, some have features that the XRP ledger simply will never be able to add. So I want to talk about whether or not this is a big deal for the XRP ledger going forward. Is it going to be surpassed? And my answer to that is based on everything I have seen right now, I do not think so. And the main reason I don't think so is because the XRP ledger has one thing that none of these advanced blockchains have right now, and that is a vast network of institutional adoption. Right now, Ripple is working with the largest institutions in the entire world to get them on the XRP ledger. And this is not a quick decision. Ripple has been meeting with some of the largest financial institutions in the world for 5 to 10 years, and a lot of these corporations are still working through the process of wrapping their head around using one of these blockchains. These traditional players, these big banks, and countries move extremely slow when it comes to adopting new technology, and Ripple has been holding their hand the entire way. These massive organizations are not going to suddenly pivot to a new technology. They are going to stick to what they've been looking at, what they have been learning about for the past 5 to 10 years. When they look at the XRP ledger, they see a network of exchanging value cheap and fast, but also a network that has been up and running with a proven track record, one of the longest in history. These are critical things that a new era blockchain are never going to have. They might have fast, cheap transactions, they might have technology the XRP ledger doesn't have, but at the end of the day, that is only going to be useful to a subset of projects out there. Brand value is something that is often overlooked with blockchain technologies, but is going to be critical in which institutions and which organizations adopt what blockchains. Ripple put this report out earlier today. It says why blockchain is making waves in finance, and they report that almost 76% of big institutions out there are considering adding blockchain in some way. But what we are seeing in this report right here is Ripple is going out and talking to these institutions. They're figuring out the exact applications they need blockchains for. Ripple is already inside a lot of these institutions, figuring out exactly how they can tailor their products around the XRP ledger to best suit their needs. This is what most of the advanced blockchains right now are doing. They built great technology, but they don't necessarily know how to apply it to corporations out there right now. Now, they still will have use cases, and they will eventually get to the point where they can start applying their technology to corporations. But that is a long process, as Ripple has proven. Ripple has already done a lot of legwork up front to show these institutions why the XRP ledger is good. These institutions are not going to randomly pivot. Another great example of Ripple's progress is with CBDCs. Ripple is one of the main players really rolling out central bank digital currencies for countries all over the world. This is something no project is just going to be able to pick up. You need to have compliance teams. You need to have a massive army of lawyers. You need to have people to get you into conference rooms with the most powerful organizations in the world. Most crypto projects just don't have this. It's simply so hard to add board members who can get you to these places when you're a small niche player in the crypto field. These are things Ripple has already been doing. Right here, 801 XRP tweeted out a CBDC conference, and I just took a list at the speakers, and what we can see is Ripple is all over this thing. Almost every single time CBDCs are mentioned, Ripple's name is there. And this is just so important to understand because they are the company I see at these CBDC conferences using a public decentralized cryptocurrency. So when I look at the cryptocurrency market and I understand cryptocurrencies are going to be valuable in our next generation financial system, I don't have to look much further than Ripple and XRP to really understand they are the main company making institutional adoption possible for cryptocurrencies. And then all I have to look for is what cryptocurrency are they using, and that's XRP. I hope this really helps you understand that despite the fact that there's a lot of great technology out there, it is so hard to position that technology in the right place to actually get adoption that's going to make a difference one day. And I just want to finish this video off with an awesome clip I saw on Twitter. It's really going to show you how entrenched Ripple already is in our current financial system. This took years in the making. It took thousands of meetings. It took lawyers, it took meeting with regulators, all things that every other crypto project out there with new technology is going to have to start from scratch. But listen up to this clip because on the backdrop of everything we just talked about, it's really going to show you the strides Ripple has already been making and how ambitious they are with their own goals. Listen up to this.
I think what we're doing and executing on a day-by-day basis is in fact taking over SWIFT in that we've now signed up, well over 100 banks. Some of the largest SWIFT-enabled banks in the world are now using Ripple's technology. Just last week, we saw a remittance company who's using Ripple's technology. They reduced the price per transaction to their consumers from $20 per transaction to $2 per transaction, and they saw an 800% increase in usage overnight. That's the type of dynamic that SWIFT isn't able to support that we're able to address right now. One of the former board members of SWIFT, a gentleman, Marcus Treacher, joined our team to run all of customer success. And, this was, a former board member from SWIFT coming over and saying, hey, we don't think Swift's going to be necessarily a solution to really unlocking this internet of value.
Just a quick clip right there, but it really shows you what Ripple's goals are. It is to completely disrupt the financial system. This is something that you need a specialized team for. This is something that no digital asset company or no digital asset can just walk into and say, we have good tech, you should use our solution. Ripple is so far ahead of the game. I don't see anyone else catching up, and that's why I'm so bullish on XRP. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.